Welcome to the fastest daf in town. Today we'll masech this Sanhedrin daf Kuf 100. We are going to begin on Kuf Amud Aleph, about 7 lines from the top. So we were learning some people are called Anapikoris for certain things, or Megala Panim B'Torah. So these are people who are certainly disrespectful to Talmid Chachamim, or maybe embarrass a person in the presence of a Talmid Chacham. So Levi bar Shmuel, Rav Huna bar Chia, actually above, we're going to start a couple lines above. Rav Papa Eimer Kegain Di Omer Hani Rabbanon. Anyone who says the words Hani Rabbanon, so these Rabbanon, so that's not a respectful way of speaking. Rav Papa Ishtali, he forgot, Vi Omer Kegain Hani Rabbanon. And Atake, one time he said this, and it kind of was a slip of a tongue, and he realized that was disrespectful, so he actually fasted because of his mistake. Levi bar Shmuel Rav Huna bar Chia havika miskene mitapachais sifrei debei Rabbi Yehuda. So they were fixing up the mantles of the scrolls of debei Rabbi Yehuda. That was their Rebbe. Kimata Megillas Esther, when he got to this Megillas Esther, Megillas Esther, Loy Boy Mitpachas. This Megillas Esther apparently doesn't need to have a mantle. It doesn't have the same Kedusha, apparently, than the others, Svarim, so it's okay. Loy Boy Mitpachas, Sermelhu, Ki Hai Gav Nami Michse Ki Apikursa. So in this situation, apparently, it also looks like an apikursis by making this statement. Says Rashi, Kimatu Megillas Esther. Let's leave the Rashi before that. Kigoin de Omer Han Rabbanan Kadim Shemer Oiso Tam Chacham Dolshem Bizuyu. It's a disgrace the way you're speaking. Zeshay Omer Rabusenu Shibamakam Poinu Ashnacher Kigoin de Omer Hani Rabbanan Kishu Mesaper Shum Davar Rabbanan Omer Hani Volshem Ganaihu. Avol Hanhu Rabbanan Enu Ganai. So there's a distinction between Hanhu Rabbanan and Hani Rabbanan. So you have to be so careful how you speak. And it says when they got to the Megillas Esther and was in it, so it was actually Loshen Boyo. It wasn't that they said this is correct, but they were posing it whether or not that was the case. So he said Michse Ki Epikursis. This is actually looks like Epikursis. Rav Nachman Omer Zekai Rabba B'Shmoi. So the question, isn't it true that the Megillah doesn't need a mantle? So the Maharsha says the Megillah is not Matami Yadayim. But again, the way that they framed the question in his presence showed a lack of respect. Rav Nachman, if you call your Rebbe by his first name, that is obviously a high level of disrespect. Why was Gechazi punished? As we saw that he does not have a chelk on Olam, because he called his Rebbe by his name. Shnemer b'yomer Gechazi Adoni Hamelech Zoysa Isha. This is the woman. V'zeh b'nah, her children. Asher Hechia Elisha, that Elisha revived. Now Elisha was Gechazi's Rebbe, so but he should not have called him by his first name. Yosef Rav Yirmiyah Kamei to Rav Zera, who was sitting there. Yosef Kaimer Asa Kodesh Baruch Hu Haitzi Nachal Mebeis Kodesh Kadashim. There's going to be a river coming from the Kodesh Kadashim. All Kol Mei of Megadim, and next to it will be all forms of delicacies and fruits. Says Rashi, Kol Mei Peiros Metukim, like sweet fruits. Shnemer V'Yal HaNachal, by the river, Yala al Safaso, by its edge, Mizeh, called Eitz Maichel, all different fruit trees to eat. Lo Yibol Allahu, and their leaves will not wither away. Lo Yito Period, the fruits will not stop. Chadash Vivaker, and within a month they'll have new fruits, new crops. Ki Meimav Min Mikdash Hema Yotzim, because it comes from the Mikdash, which are interpreting from the Kodesh Kadashim. V'haya Pirio Lamechel, and the fruits are to eat. V'aleila Trufa, and the leaves are cures. Armaliyahu Saba Yesher. So he just said Yesher. V'cheinam Rabbi Yochanan. That's what Rabbi Yochanan said too. So Yeshar Armalei Rabbi Yirmalei Rabbi Zera Ki haigav nemixika apikorsa. The fact that you said the statement Yeshiv v'chenem Rabbi Yochanan is that maybe that's also an element of disrespect. Is that considered apikorsis? So Amalei ha haisiu komisayle lucha. All I was doing was telling you that he supports you. So I wasn't saying anything in a disrespectful manner. Elaki shmielach hashmielach, that I heard, that it was heard. Ki hadi yasem Rabbi Yochanan v'kadarish asa kadosh baruch hu hevi avanim tavis margolios. That if you would say something then maybe of a disrespectful student, it would be based on the following story. The Rabbi Yochanan said that in the future there's going to be these avanim tavis margolios, these special jewels. Shehin shloishim al shloishim amos, going to be 30 by 30 amos, huge. The chaykik behem eser borum barum esrim umamidin b'shari Yerushalayim, and they're going to be carving into them, and they'll be used by the gates of Yerushalayim. Shneimar b'samti kadkod shimashotayich, that I will make these jewels as the windows v'sharecha on your gates la'avni ekdach v'gomer, will be these precious stones. So Ligleg of Oisa Talmud, there was a student that started laughing upon hearing Rabbi Yochanan's statement. Omer said, understand. Hashda now kibiyatza ditziltzala loy mishkachinon. We don't even find a jewel that's the size of an egg of, as Rashi says, an of cotton of a small bird. So kuli hi mishkachinon. You're gonna tell me that we can find a jewel, all these jewels that are so huge? It's impossible. Yomim later on have fligas v'nasu b'yom. So his boat was going in the sea and was and he went at a far distance. Chazinu malchi yesharis to come and nasri avanim tavis margolius. So Hitaka saw that the malchi yesharis that were carving up these jewels. Amalhu hani laman. So he asked, what are these jewels for? Summary: Asa Kadosh Baruch Hu Hamidan B'Shar Yerushalayim. In the future, they're going to be brought to the gates of Yerushalayim, which is exactly what Rabbi Yochanan said. So Ki Hadar, when he came back, Ashkachel Rabbi Yochanan Yosef Kadarish Amalei Rebbe, great news. Darish V'Lachan Noah Lidrosh. You're very good, your drushes. Keshem Shemarta Kachra Isa. Just as you said, is precisely what happened. So Amelo Reiki, you empty one. Nimor Isalo Hemanta. If you didn't see, then you're not going to believe. This is a very unbelievable thing. That the only reason why you'll believe something is only if you see it. But something that you don't see, you're not going to believe. So you have no amunas chachamim. So the fact that you saw is like, oh wow, Rabbi, I can't believe it. It's like, well, what do you mean? Why you didn't know? You doubted me? So malaglig al divrei chachamim. So you're basically showing you're showing disrespect to the Talmud Chacham, and because of that, as we often find, so he became a pile of bones. This guy died and became a pile of bones. So it says, as Rashi tells us, that two heights of Adam, as it says in Maseches Chagiga, Shemi'ato Kadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem made him small, Ma'amido al Mea Amma, made him 100 Amos. Shnemar v'samti olai kanaf, kaf, and kaf, which is chaf fei, is begematria habi, which is 100. So Rameir Oimer Mosayim Amma, that not that he was 100, but 200. Kashtei koimai shel Adam Rishon, that it was actually the height of two heights of Adam Rishon. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Kufam Keneged Heichel v'Koislav, 100 Keneged the Heichel in the walls. Temar Asher Banenu, regarding children, Kinetiayim, they'll be like trees. Migudolim Binureihem, they'll grow in their youth. Binaisenu, and your daughters Kizaviois Mechut voice. Tam Neseichel v'Gaimer, they'll be carved at this corner. So Kiyam Rabbi Yochanan L'Kavide Bei Zika. So when Rabbi Yochanan said this, it was referring to the opening window for a light. So this being 20 amos, but the gates will be much higher, so people will be able to walk through. So my va'alehu latrufa, some type of a healing. So Rav Yitzchak bar Avoidimi Rav Chisda Chad Omer lahatir peh, in order to be able to untie the mouth, shel mail of the mute. The Chad Omer lahatir peh shel mata, referring to someone who is childless, someone who cannot have children. Look at this top Rashi over here. Vabayas Sherbana Hamel Shlomo Hashem Shishim Am Arko was 60 amos length. The Kaisel Mizrach, and the wall Sheish Amos was 6 amos. The Kaisel B'marav Sheish Amos. V'ama Achas Taraxin Har Yud Gimel Amos. V'ulam Eser Amos. The ulam was 10. Raiche V'Kaisel ulam Sheish Hari Chavtes. V'ama Achri HaUlam, and after the ulam was a ta, which is echad rachbay sheish v'kasel hey harimem the samachalman shel oirech habayis harimeya v'heichei chayin l'chayif kamaisan. How are they able to get its height? L'chanes b'pesach she'eno el rum esrim. So if it's only 20, so how are they able to get these stones there? So again, the answer is that it will be 20 almost, but the gates will be much higher, so the people will be able to walk through. Okay, Matidmar. So Imar Nam Yechizki Aimel Hatir Pe Ilmim, that the people who are mute will talk. Bar Kapar Aimel Hatir Pe Karois, barren women. Yochan Aimel Trufa Mamish. Actually, it's a medicine. My with Trufa. Rav Shimon Bar Nachmani Aimer Latoyer Panim Shel Bali Hapeh. The people who are Bali Peh, the people who are with the mouth, which are the Talmidei Chachamim, those individuals will have like a ziv, like a shine on their face. That's what it's referring to. Darish Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Simon Kol Hamashkir Panav Al Divri Torah. Anyone whose face is darkened, Be'olam Hazeh Kadosh Baruch Hu Mavhik Ziv Be'olam Haba, Hashem will have his face shine. Shnemer Kemarehu Kilavanain. It'll have the appearance of the moon. Bachor Karazim, like the cedars. Fine. Omer Av Tanchan B'Rab Chaniloi Kol Hamar B'Atzma Al Divri Torah, who hungers himself. Even though he's hungry, he doesn't try to make tons of money, and he goes for just the basics. He'll be satiated in the world to come. Shnemar, your voyun, you'll be satiated mideshen from beisechem, from the fat from your house. V'nachal donecha tashkim, and you'll be able to receive water from the nachal. Hashem's going to give every tzaddik a fistful of God's own hand. Shnemer Baruch Hashem Yoim Yoim Ya'amos Lanu Hakel Yeshua Seinu Sela. So it says Ya'amos, which is a handful. So I'm going to buy 1 second. How can you say it? Nemar Kimadod, the measurement B'Sholumayim B'Shemayim B'Zeres Tachim. So the whole world is less than that. So how is it shaykh that you can say that God's going to give every tzaddik the amount of a handful, of a fistful? So he said, "My time ba'agarata." Why? What is the reason why you basically are missing out and not understanding the true depth of what a Gadat is saying? Hashem is going to give every tzaddik 310 worlds. Shnemar v'hanchil oive yesh. So the word yesh is the gematria 310. We're going to say Vatzori Sehim Imole, and your storehouse will be full. Yesh is the gematria tlas meya v'asar havi. Tanya Rameir Oimer b'midah shadamoidim. So basically, again, you can say, well, how's that shaykh, right? How's God able to give us so much? The answer is that Kadosh Baruch Hu gives us the strength to the tzaddik that they're able to withhold such blessing. Tanya Rameir Oimer b'midah shadamoidin moidin. The way that you judge someone, that's how you're going to be judged. It's like midah keneged midah. Techsiv b'sasa b'shalcha terivna. Which is in its measurement. The Mitzrayim will be punished in the same way that they caused the Bnei Israel pain. Says Rashi, Im modad v'nasan tzedakah ani mali chafnav, that if you give a tzedakah to the poor with a full fist, Kadosh Baruch Hu moedin b'chafanav v'noiselo, then God's going to do the same thing So Rashi says, "V'yasher oimer can't share Kadosh Baruch Hu nitin adam moli chavna v'lo enu yochel lispul kol kach." He can't accept so much. So Rabbi Yeshua v'yasher oimer can adam noisin moli omsel ani be'olam hazev. You give a fistful of cash to a poor person in this world. The Kadosh Baruch Hu noisin lo moli omsel olam haba. I've accepted again the same question. Shemayim bezeres tachin. The heavens is just a zeres, which is. Like a zeros is like from here to here, so obviously this can't happen. Viata I oimerkein ezuhi mida maruba midas taiva maruba omidas pranyos. So 1 second, what is a bigger payback, if you will? Doing something good, Hashem gives us reward, or God gives us a punishment? Which one is worse? Which one's bigger, I should say. So in Kufal Mebez, Javier made a taiva maruba midas pranyos. We certainly know that Hashem looks more positively when it comes to midas taiva than midas pranyos. Ksiv, because b'mida taiva ksiv vayetzav shchokim mimal, that it'll be on the heavens, it'll be above the dalasi shamayim pesach, and it'll be a door. So when it comes to the goodness, it's a door. And you'll have food to eat. That the windows will be open. And a door is 4 times bigger than a window. So therefore, we in fact see that God does give a tremendous amount to a person. It says Rashi, Alma, don't be so confused or shocked. How is it possible that they can receive such rewards? Because, as Rashi says, Hashem gives us the koyach to accept it. So, b'midas pranyos, fine. And b'midas pranyos, they went out and they saw the corpses of people, who rebelled and sinned, Ki so asam lo tomus, with the worms they will not die. The eisham lo tichbe, the fire will not extinguish. V'hayu diroin l'chol basar, it'll be some disease or sorts on the flesh. What does that mean? How is it possible that when it comes to a punishment that you're not going to die? Certainly a person would die. If you stick your finger into a fire, you're going to get burned. So how is it possible that you're not going to die? Or maybe kol shekain knows that Kadosh Baruch Hu koyach b'tzadikim makabel toivasan. So therefore, even though al pi derech hateva, a person should not live through that, but it doesn't make any difference. When it comes to Hashem, Hashem could do whatever He wants, and therefore He'll give us the koyach to be able to withstand pranyos for the Rasha, and to be able to give an abundance to the tzaddik. Question 6: Mal moker mina mikrois laha the meruba mina tova minas pranyos. So in question 6, it says Memidat ksiv gabi man daloisi shemayim yapatach, the doors, and by the mabul it says shemayim niftachu, that God opened up the skylight. So that's one answer. Also, we find when it comes to the Yud Gimel Midas, it said we say pokin avoin avois al banim al bnei banim al shileshim al ribeim al soinai. So it's only 4 generations. However, loivai l'shemer mitzvosai, it's 2,000, or it could mean forever. That's another answer that we often find in other places. Okay, all right. So that was question 6. All right. Let's see if we have another question here. Okay, weiter. 2 dots. Rabbi Kiva Omer Af HaKayra B'Svarim HaChitzayim V'Chu. If you read from these outer books, also it's in Ochel Kol Mahaba. So Tana B'Sifrit Sedukim. These are the books of the Sedukim that are Koifer in Torah Shabbat Peh. Rabbi Yosef Omer B'Sefer Ben Sira. It's referring to Sefer ben Sira, says Rashi, Sheshbo Divrei Havoi, has nonsense in it. Uvalehim lidi bittul Torah, so lead to bittul Torah. So Nami Aser lemikri, it's also Aser to read. Amabai my time, Ilay Mimishim de Kasabe, because it's written in it, Loy Sintoish Gildina Me'oinya, that a person should not skin the fish by the ears, which, right, it's a Gildina, Rashi says, is a sham dog. So is that the reason why it says something a little peculiar like that? Deloy lezel mashche lechavala, that you shouldn't ruin the skin. El etzali yasya benur, you should roast it. V'ochale tartin geritzin, and you should eat it together with 3 cakes. So is that the whole problem? If it's a literal meaning, it says don't destroy the wood, right? It's basically saying don't waste things. Maybe it's just alluding that you shouldn't have be a shlokadarka. Says Rashi, in hagan adam lashanas is darko from the ears. So it's just saying don't do it don't do this abnormal behavior. Like maybe it's just saying don't have be a shlokadarka. So maybe it is telling us something. The mishum de kasev the it says bas leavia mitamoinus shav, that the daughter to your father is a worthless treasure. Mipachda leyishin b'layla, from fear she won't sleep at night. Bikatnusa shema tis pata, and in her youth she will be seduced. B'noyurasa shema tizna, when she's a little bit older she'll be a zayna. Bagra, when she becomes a bagaris, shema lo tinase, she won't get married. Nises shema lo haya loibanim, she gets married, she won't have children. Heskina, when she gets older, shema tasik shafim, shema, so she'll end up doing idol worship. So how Rabbana Nami Amrua, Yashul Oilam B'Lui Zacharim V'Nekavis. It says that every world you have to have boys and girls in this world. Ashmi Shabanav Zacharim, Oilami Shabanav Nekavis. So maybe that's what she's alluding to. It's like, hopefully you'll have sons and not daughters. Ela Mishum Dekasiv. So that, what's wrong with that? Ela Mishum Deksiv Loi Sa'il Davi Bilvavecha. You shouldn't have worries, as Rashi says, Davoy is the aga in your heart. The Gavri Givrin Katal Davoy, because worry and stress will kill. So Hashloim Amra, the aga belev ish, Yashchena, says that if you have these stresses, then Yashchena. Ravam Ravasi Chad Omer Yasichena Midaitoi, you should divert your attention from it. The Chad Omer Yashichena Lacherim, you should have a therapist and talk to people about it. El Mishum Diksiv Mana Rabim Mataich Beisecha, you should avoid many from your house. V'lo Hakol Tavi El Beisecha, don't bring everyone into your house. V'ha Rabbi Nami Amr, he also said this. The Sanya Rabbi Amr Oyom Lo Yarba Adam Reim B'Tach Beiso, don't bring too many friends and people into your house. Remember Ish Reim, when it comes to these people, it can potentially cause evil into your house. El Mishum Dechsiv Zaldekan Turtimon. So, which Rashi says, Misha Zikano Daka, if your beard is thin and weak, Kurtamon, that shows that you're smart. Teida Shechacham V'charefu, must be a very smart person if you have a thin beard. Avdikan Sachsan, says Rashi, Misha Zikano Ava, if you have a big thick beard, then it means you're a shaita, it means you're crazy. The nafach b'chasi lotzachi, and one who has foam in his cup, it's known that he's not thirsty. Omar, so if you say, b'mai eichel lachma sabi minei, that what will I eat with bread? So with bread, so we take it away. Says Rashi, Biadu Shena Rav. It's clear that he's not hungry. V'kacha lechem yodo. Take the bread from him. She'ilu hayrav ya'oichel. He wouldn't be talking about it. He'd be eating it. Man isle ma'av rasa bedikni. Someone who has split in his beard. Says Rashi, shizakino mechulak. Kuli almo lo yachlile. Then no one is able to catch up to him. Okay, it's like it could also could mean he's pulling his beard. Okay, so this is all silliness about beards, analyzing a person's beard. Now, some people actually say this is the apocrypha, which is Apakrafa. The Knesset Yisrael, the Anshe Knesset Gedolah, Anshe Knesset Yisrael excluded some svarim from Tanakh, and this is perhaps one of them. Rav Yosef Mil Mel Yosed Isbe Darshinla, something which is good words. So we will darshan. Isha Toiva Matana Toiva. A good woman is a good gift. B'chek Yarei Elokim Tinasem. In the bosom of the fearing God, you should give. Isha Ra Saras Bala. A bad woman is like saras to your husband. Maitakante. So what's the remedy? Yirgarshen Mabeso. You should divorce her. Yisrapim Sarasai and be healed from your tsaras. Ishiafa. When it comes to a good wife, Ashri Bala Misper Yomiv Kaflayim. His days will be doubled. Helme Necha Me'eshaschein, to close your eyes from a woman of grace. Pen Tilkad Bimatsudata, because maybe you will fall into a trap. Al Tat Eitzel Bala, do not recline. Limsoich Imoyayin, to pour wine. V'shechar. Ki B'Torah Isha Yafya Rabim Hushchaso, because the beauty of a woman, many have been corrupted. Vatsumim kol harugim kol harugeho, and those individuals, many of them have died. Kiflaim, says Rashi, Meroiv hana chashuvim kiflaim. It's like your life has doubled. Okay, Rabim hayu pitsui roichel. There are many people who are peddlers. Hamargilim with dvar erva, people who have engaged in erva, kenitzoitz meir gachelas. It's like there's a spark of from coals. Kichluv moli oif, that like the coop, says Rashi, dirashel oifos, which is a chicken coop filled with birds. Kain bateim malayim mirma. So to your house will be filled with deceit. Mina rabim matayich beisacha. There are many in your house, v'lo hakol tavi beisacha, and not all should you bring into your house. Ramihu darshe shalmecha, many will ask for your welfare. Gale soidecha la'acher me'elef, but your secret should only be given to one of 1,000. Mosh mishacheves chekecha shomer pische picha. You should guard the opening of your mouth. Al tatzer tsoras machar. Do not be concerned about tomorrow. Kilo Tailed my yolad yom, because a person was not born what was born today. Because maybe tomorrow will not be. And you're stressing yourself out with something the world's not even yours anymore. Like a mashal that koyime anirayim, it says all my days were bad. Ben siro aimer av leilois, also my nights bishval gagim gagoy, like the poor man's roof. Uva moroim, and those who are up on high, harim with mountains, karmo mamater gagim gago, me offer karmo lekromim. Okay, Simon Zira Rava Misharsha Chanina Tovia Yanai Yafe Yochanan Merachim Yoshua Mikatzer. Amrav Zera Rabbi Amarav Maidaksiv Koyime Ani Royim. All my days are bad. Elu Bali Talmud. The Tovle Mishnah Talmud. What does it mean that it's good? Elu Bali Mishnah. Rava Aimer Ibcha. So in this we've had elsewhere. This is Suvas. Right. We had Baba Basra. Okay, so It's possible. Is there a Rashi here? So Rashi says that Bali Talmud shekasha limoid merav kushya is a suga sheishla. It's very hard. Mishas naich limod. It's easy to learn. So it's like Toivle Mishnah Talmud. However, Rabbi says no. Pumfakert. The Bali Talmud nehenemi giyai. You get hana from your hard work. Shiyadul hoirais, because you know how to paskin. Yisra heter of a Bali Mishnah shaina. They learn ve'enu dia mahu aimer. They in marin halacha matayich Mishnah. You can't paskin from a Mishnah. Okay. V'hainu damri Rab misharishim mishmida Rab amadiksev masi avanim yiatze bahem. That person will move these stones. Will be stand by them. Elu Bali Mishnah. Ubaytzeh eitzim yiskin bam elu Bali Talmud. But if a person chops down wood, he'll be warned by its Bali Talmud. Rav Chanino Eimer Koimi Ani Royim Zemi Sheishlo Isha. Rav, you have a bad wife. The Toivle Mishnah Talmud Zeh Sheishlo Isha Toiva. Rav Yana Eimer Koimi Ani Royim Zeh Istinis. If everything bothers you, then your whole life is going to be a problem. Rav Mishnah Talmud Zeh Shadaiti Yafe. You're relaxed, you're calm. Rav Yochanan Eimer Koimi Ani Royim Zeh Rachmani V'Toivlev. That if you're constantly having rachmanis and open-hearted, maybe people will take advantage of that. V'toivle Mishnah Talmud zeh achzari, someone who's cruel, so nothing's going to bother you, right? Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi Omer Kol Yemei Ani Royim zeh. What is that? What all my days are bad? Zeh. We continue Kuf Alvam and Aleph Chedai to Kitsara. Says Rashi Mesim Levo. Kol Daigis Chaveri, worried about all your friends' issues, Adaigal Koma Shas, and love all of, you're going to worry about all your future, things you can't control. But Toivle Mishnah Talmud, Zeshadaito Rachava, says Rashi, Ve'enu Mesim Livu Daga Kolkak, you're not so stressed out, Lashon Dachat Sar, Ragzon. Yom Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, Kol Yimei Ani Royim, Aibu Ika Shabbos Yom Tovim. So what do you mean? There's some days that are good, Kedishmul, Yom Shmuel, Shinoi Veses Tchil Schali Moyim. That if a person changes their eating habits, even though it's good food, you're just going to get sick. So even on Shabbos, it's not going to be good. Okay, we're going to stop there. Let's look at question 7. Because Rashi B'Shem Rabbi Yesh Lach Hashem Sharoike Kacherem. Okay, we didn't do that. Question 20 Be'elo Bez Ofanim Motu Lilchaish. Again, no. And Ksab Rashi B'Shem Rabo, nothing. Adkan.